April is now Autism Acceptance Month in Brown County. County Executive Troy Streckenbach made the proclamation today, saying it's important to learn how to engage and communicate with people who have autism in the community. The CDC says nearly 1 in 50 individuals are on the spectrum in Wisconsin.
Acceptance is action. It's finding pathways for inclusion and support and taking the next step to ensure that individuals with autism are fully supported and included in our local communities.
The Autism Society of Greater Wisconsin is holding its 34th annual conference later this month at the KI Convention Center. We have a link to more information at WBAY.com.